Hey guys, you know, most of you probably know that I'm running that contest, the 300 sub contest, and it is, the theme is the first aid kit, and I finally got my new one today in the mail. I always had a first aid kit in my backpack, ever since I was back in the junior high. I know I was always doing crazy stuff, sports, so I was kind of always prepared at least to a certain level. Had the bandages, some gas and stuff like that. And I never found myself not having what I would need, to take care of the wound or scratch or cut or whatever. And trust me, I had some big ones in my lifetime. Uh, I cut myself with a chainsaw pretty bad, and I was able to dress it up and clean the wound and everything. Of course, a lot of cuts with the knives, a lot of nasty stuff. Never had to go to the hospital until the last week on the PWIP, and even that was because it was a very bad location. The fingers, they are really hard to keep keep the the wound fixed. So I had to go get the stitches, and because of the way it was, I actually ended up using all of my first aid kit just on those two little wounds on my fingers, because they took it was bleeding pretty bad, so I had to clean it, and I said to myself after all of that, it's always better to be over prepared than running short on something. So I said screw it, I'm gonna get the really nice medical kit, first aid kit, and I went ahead and it was $50, but guys, I think it's well worth it. This is the Adventure Medical Kits Hunter, like I said, $50. But you have I was looking through all different kits, and this one just seemed, compared to the price and the stuff inside in the original setup, it looked like really decent setup. I talked to Mediocre Pirate, he's a EMT, he said also that it looks like a decent setup. Nice big waterproof bag with all different stuff. It's separated, what it is. You have the wound care, burn blister, first aid manual, medication instrument. There was this nice big book. I am just gonna go through it. Most of the stuff I know, because in Slovakia everybody who goes for driver license, you have to take the Red Cross first aid classes, so kind of like you have a license of the first aid. I also had the first aid classes on the scuba diving license. Also, back in the school in Slovakia, you have first aid classes, in biology on your junior high school, all over again, over and over. So it is, I don't know, in Europe it's pretty stressed up, pretty bad, pretty, big time, the first aid kit. So I'm just gonna go through the book to study all the, the new names for me of the medicines, and the old ointments and the pills and all the stuff I don't know about. I wanna know what they are, so but the basic stuff I pretty much already know. Good stuff here. What I actually moved my emergency stove with the 1 cube of fuel in here. I added the little micro, the micro towel, another way of starting the fire, water purification tablets, Nivea lotion, crazy glue. I added another pair of tweezers. What else did I add? I added the Neosporin. I added a couple more of the non-sticking pads. I added some Neosporin in spray. I added one more this roll of gas. Couple other stuff I put into it, but originally it came with a lot of good stuff. Another thing I'm adding is this big old tourniquet rubber band. Also doubles as a basic grabber for the slingshot if ever needed. I added the hand warmer, some more painkillers. Yeah, you never have enough painkillers. Nice thing about this is you can just take off this small pouch, and that's a small aid first aid kit, small bag of first aid kit on its own. It was set up that way, and it's really awesome. You know, you can, if you don't want to lug the whole thing around, you just take off the smaller one and off you go for a lighter trip. But I will most likely carry the whole thing. It's not that big, you know. I mean, it is big, but me carrying the backpack every day and having the backpack 24/7 with me, it's not that big deal to carry this thing for me. You know what it is? It's about, let's say, 5 inches wide, 8.5 long, 7 tall. So you know, it's not that big. It's maybe like 2 Nalgene bottles, and it's pretty light. The weight, I'm curious, you know, since we're talking about how much space it takes. It's 31 ounces. You know, in the backpack is really like nothing, just like bottle of water. And it's a good feeling to know that, you know, anything happens, I can help myself, or I can help another human being. It's always good. And I'm gonna say the same thing that Mediocre Pirate. You know, study this thing. Don't just buy the kit. You have to know what is for what. You know, what do you use in this and this situation. It's very important. Like I said again, I don't know some of the small pouches with the different you know, ointments and different medicines and stuff. I have to study what it is for, and hopefully that's what I will find out in this, since this is the book for this kit. It should say what is what is it used for. Came with nice thing. You have a couple of the gloves, medical gloves, with a couple rolls of duct tape, those small ones. A lot of pads, you know, the trauma pads. Since it's meant for a hunter, I guess they meant it for wounds. You know, shot. When you get shot, injuries. Good stuff, tweezers. The cleaning pads, the alcohol wipes, disinfection wipes, syringe for cleaning the wound. You have the big thing of iodine, medical tape. I added this there. I don't know, I think this is kind of silly thing once you have this kit, so I'll probably take this out because this is really kind of waste of space. I thought it was cool when it came out, when I saw it, but that's kind of waste. A lot of good stuff here. You have that stuff for your for blisters. That helps, you know, in your boot for your feet. I think it's money well spent, if you ask me. You know, your mileage may vary, but I will definitely be carrying this stuff. So, since I'm doing the contest, I felt like I should also show what was I talking about, like how am I prepared. Hope it helps somebody. Hope we will never need to use it, you know, in something serious. And you know, stay safe out there, guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the evening or whatever. And remember, don't cut yourself. Take care.